Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome back again to another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. Once again, it's your boy Cristian. And today we're going to be doing, took me a little while to get it up, to get it out there, the video of the week. It's been a busy week for me. Started working again, so, it just kind of, I got to implement that schedule back again into the rhythm of my life. So here we are. It came a little late, but it came. We're hoping to take this, put this one out for everybody to listen, and then hopefully by Tuesday, Wednesday, the latest, have another video coming that I already kind of have it planned out in my head. I just have to do it basically. And today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about Matt Jordan on SoccerMatters. He was invited on by Glen Davis. Shout out to Glen Davis, the real MVP of this. Having, insisting on having Matt Jordan on the show. And finally Matt Jordan decided to show up and show his face, and now with the 1-year extension to his contract, that a lot of people are not happy with, maybe including myself. We're just gonna listen to some bits and pieces of SoccerMatters. Hopefully they don't sue me, and I'm just gonna be basically kind of reacting to it, but not really, just kind of like giving my feedback on the questions and on the answers, mainly not on the questions. The questions 99% were good, except that last one that most people didn't like, and I didn't agree with it too much as well. But without further ado, let's go see what we can find on SoccerMatters. This happened on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, this past Tuesday. And a lot of people were heated, and I don't think this resolved anything, especially with Mauro Manotas, being sold to Cholos of Tijuana, I believe. So actually, I'll go ahead and say it. The next show is going to be a strictly Mauro Manotas show. So, be on the lookout for that one. There's a little surprise there for everybody. So I recommend you watch it and or listen to it or whatever. But it's going to be more of a visual one. So hopefully, if you're listening and you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would suggest you go to YouTube, QuattroQuattroDos, QuattroQuattroDos, and you're going to find the podcast version on a video version. So if you want to see how I look like, or if you want to see what I'm doing, just go ahead and check it out. Just give it a thumbs up or whatever people do. Comment, like, whatever, share, or just watch it or listen to it. But yeah, so next week is going to be a Mauro Manotas show. And then this week, unfortunately, we're doing a Matt Jordan show. So once again, shout out to Glen Davis for putting this together and letting the people call in and, ask Matt Jordan direct questions, direct to him. And even though we don't get direct answers, it is what it is. We got something out of it. So let's go here and shuffle through the show, and let's see what we can find. So honestly, I'm going to start from like the beginning. So if you're going to see me shuffling and stuff, forgive my unpreparedness. But it's all Gucci on the hooch. So that's Glen Davis saying what's up. We're gonna fast forward. Keep fast forward. I was listening to the show live, and then I'll probably listen to the recording, like the podcast episodes as they put it out afterwards, like twice. So I'm kind of reacting to something that I already have reacted, but I think I'm gonna have probably the same reaction as I listen. Especially shout out to Ryan, that one, and then there was another question that I was like that got a good reaction out of me. And every time I hear it, I get like the same reaction. So it's going to be funny. Let's see what we got.
And then Will Bruin comes on in the 75th.
So he's talking about the Seattle game. That was a crazy-ass game.
6 goals and 4 assists.
Don't forget, the MLS final this Saturday or tomorrow or today, as you're watching, Columbus Crew, Seattle Sounders, and Columbus Crew is going to be a really good game. All right, so we're going to keep fast forwarding to when Matt Jordan comes in. All right, let's go back.
Briefly, and just how it came down, and the former FC Dallas
All right,
teammate,
let's see.
was the coach there, Oscar Pereira, now back in Major League
So we're listening to Matt.
We welcome you back.
There we go.
Is brought to
Hey,
you by
Glen Davis, shout out to Glen Davis. He has some really good questions too. So shout out to Glen Davis.
Realty, and it is Dynamo General Manager Matt Jordan that joins us now. Matt, thanks for coming on the program.
Here we go.
Hi, Glenn. Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, I guess the big news for Dynamo fans and the buzz today is Mauro Manotas moving to Tijuana. Tell us about the deal briefly and just how it came down, and then maybe we can talk about the transfer fee as well.
Yeah, I mean, really at the beginning of this last year, we'd really outlined a pretty detailed plan to move Mauro and Alvarez in the summer window. And actually for Mauro in particular, we had a transfer being set up in Spain for the summer just prior to the pandemic hitting. So we were really forced to kind of pivot and adjust.
So he's talking about how this summer, I guess, they were going to send Mauro to Spain. Obviously, a pandemic happened, so obviously, like he's saying, they had to switch everything up. But I wonder how much money. So there's been some numbers floating around for this Mauro Manotas transfer. Some people were saying 1.1 million, which is god awful. And then there were some other numbers that came up. It was closer to 4 million. But we don't know. So it's somewhere in between there, hopefully.
His situation, and with the unpredictable kind of nature of everything going on. And so that didn't happen as we were really focusing on getting the team back on the field. As we got towards the end of the readjusted FIFA window in the summer, Tijuana had reached out, and it was getting towards the end of the deadline, and just with kind of the situation that that we've all been dealing with, it didn't materialize at that point. But we've been in touch with them, through the last.
All right, so I'm gonna fast forward because he keeps just mumbling about the transfer, but doesn't really give any numbers or anything concise. Is that a word? So we're gonna go a little bit.
Set our club up, to benefit down the line.
Let me see. Hold on.
Specifics. The thing I can, say is, we're pleased with the way it's shaped up. It's been profitable for our club to basically, bring in assets that we're looking to reallocate. I think the other thing that we really like about the deal is that it brings, significant added value with a future sale and performance add-on. And that, I think that was really a big part of it as well, Glenn, in talking, with Mauro, as we're going through this process, we're confident that, like, with a club like Tijuana, Mauro's going to be a focal point, and that's going to really provide him a platform, to get in with the Colombian national team, which is going to help him, but it's also going to set our club up, to benefit down the line financially.
So that's probably one of the only things that kind of makes me happy about Mauro leaving. I'm going to talk about that maybe more in depth next episode. But, the fact that he's probably going to be a little bit more visible for the Colombian league. I mean, obviously he's going to have to, kill it, something that he didn't do this year. But, hopefully be, a new change or a new wind or whatever it's called, however you say, un nuevo aire, as we say in Spanish or whatever, un cambio de aire will come, will fit him well, but who knows?
So just a question for you. Is there a reason why you don't want to reveal the transfer fee? Because, in the new rebrand, there's all this talk about being more transparent and all. And don't you think that would be a great reach out to the fan base as far as giving them some ownership in these deals and feeling some pride in it, and then be able to talk about it? Because without knowing the numbers, the fan base can't say whether this is a good deal or not. They just have to accept what you say, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they want to make their own decisions.
That is a great question. I look like the freaking tiger from the cereal boxes. Bro, the whole part of the rebrand or the whole, not the whole, but like one of the main things that Glen Davis is talking about. Like they're talking about transparency. They're talking about how being open, being the team of the city, you know, being Houston's team and all this and that. But then when it comes to like telling people what's going down, like you don't tell us. So how are we supposed to be like supporting you and, you know, giving our, you know, our part of the deal when you're not reciprocate? Oh, that's a tough word. Reciproc. You know what I mean? If you're not giving back like that love, I guess, you know, and we're not expecting, I mean, obviously we want a winning team, but all we need from this damn deal is to let us know how much they bought them for. Like, we want to know a number. We want to make sure that our GM is doing a good job as a GM. Like, you are supposed to be making the decisions for us to be profitable. And okay, before I keep going, I want to say I have nothing against Matt Jordan as a person. He's probably a really nice guy. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he looks like a nice guy. But, you know, obviously right now we're going to talk about strictly his performance as a general manager of the Houston Dynamo. So it's nothing against the personal dude, but it's again against him and how, you know, he's doing his job. And I don't think he has been doing a great job. So being that said, let's get him. But yeah, transparency. Like, if you're not going to be transparent with us, how do you expect us to like you, to trust you, to follow you blindly? Like, you know, yeah, you are the general manager and we're supposed to trust you, but like, we can't trust you with the results. We can't trust you with the way that Ellie's transfer went down. Like, bro, our best player sold for $1.1 million. Like, come on, bro. We can't trust you like that.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, generally speaking, you know, MLS clubs, you know, in conjunction with the league, they don't disclose the details of the transaction, Glenn. The only thing I can tell you is that, you know, we're happy with how it shaped up, you know, and I think it's something that, you know, we're pleased with now, but also with the future value.
So I listen to a lot of I guess it's Spanish rap battles. So like improvised rap battles, and one of the lines that one of the guys says, you know, they're battling each other, and then one of the guys says to the other guy, dijo nada para decir nada. So basically, he said nothing to say nothing. Like, you said nothing. Like, that was a waste of breath and time and space. Like, what kind of answer is that, bro?
Will this money, Matt, be reinvested into the striker position where Morrow played?
Well, I think
crickets. If you start the sentence with the word well, just say no.
You know, we're working with, you know, Tab and I are obviously working, you know, hand in hand, you know, going through all the critical decisions we have to make. You know, we are looking at that for sure. But is you know, how can we you know, take this money and you know, obviously with approval of ownership as well, and look to replace Morrow and also to strengthen each of our lines. I mean, that's really been a key focus of ours.
So basically, no.
This off season, as we've made some critical decisions on how we're going to focus, or how we're going to strengthen each of our lines.
All right, you can talk to Matt Jordan, the Dynamo General Manager, 713-780-3776. Let's go to the phone lines. We start with Marco. Marco, what's on your mind?
Marco?
My question is that a couple of years ago, you were talking about how your the way that you want to like take care of players is to develop them and then sell them for money. Well, I was wondering if you want to like maybe change that and try and make a championship winning team.
So Marco made me laugh because this dude thinks of Matt Jordan being such a joke that he like literally laughs in the middle of the freaking sentence.
I apologize, Marco. You broke up with me a little bit at the end there. Could you repeat that last part?
I think go ahead, Marco.
So basically, Marco's saying, how about we stop with this whole like bringing young players? How about we bring players with fucking experience and let's win a trophy? And let's see what he answered. I wish we had a little thing that would let me play.
Maybe keep them and try and make a championship winning team.
I think the question was,
Y se hace el boludo. Like, bro, you heard the question. Stop being stupid.
So he wants to know. I
Even Glen Davis knows you're being stupid.
think I got it.
With all due respect.
I heard it pretty well. I think what he wants to know is he's talking about the buying and selling policy that you had mentioned about developing players and selling them off. But he wants to know, with that, how are we going to win championships?
okay, I understand. Thanks for helping with that, Glenn. Look, I mean, well, first of all, we have won a championship with that plan with bring
A U.S. Open Cup since when? 2013, since you got here? Like, crickets?
some young players in and having them, help us find success. So, that is something that we're proud of, that we've shown that we've been able to do that, in particular with the championship we won in 2018. And I think for a club like ours, we understand that, there's going to be, certain parameters that we're going to work within, maybe different than, clubs like Toronto FC or NYC.
How great would it be if ownership came on Glen Davis? Can you imagine? I think Matt Jordan gets a lot of shit, and he should, because he has made terrible decisions. And unfortunately, it kind of, it's on his head to, it is what it is. But I think ownership is just like, he's being like a scapegoat for ownership. But it is what it is, right?
And so for us, I think that's going to be an important aspect, while, again, continuing to win games, which we recognize is very important. I mean, I think, that's where we're some of these other guys. And so, for us, I think that'll continue to be important for us. But we understand that results are a very important part of the process. And so, Marco, I appreciate that question. Thank you.
Marco.
All right, let's keep it going. Colin, you're up. What's on your mind, Colin?
Uh-oh, Colin's not there. Where you at, Colin?
Let's go to Ray. Ray, you're up.
Hello, good evening, Glenn and Matt.
Shout out to Ray.
This is a two-part question. For you, Matt, one of the phrases that you always mention, core values, what does it specifically mean to the Houston Dynamo community and its fans? And secondly, the relationship with RGV. I know it's been extended for at least one more year. What are you guys looking to get out of it? Because a lot of the fan base down there isn't particularly happy with the result, and now they don't have a coach. What can you say specifically on that, if you could?
Thank you for your question, Ray. I appreciate it. So I'll answer the first part of your question.
Core values.
When I say and mention core values, for us, the most important core value of our club is that everything is about the team. It's a team-first club. And we have always
push
been
forward,
a
because
team-first
this guy.
club. No one individual, no one player, no one thing that I would say when talking with anything related to the Houston Dynamo FC now. And it's a balance. It's a balance there, Ray, because, we obviously want to reach our developmental goals.
So, unfortunately, I think RGV at this moment in time is just like one of those, it's like a cousin that you don't like, but like you have to invite him to your party because he's your family, unfortunately. But, he's such a, I'm not saying like, this is what I think of RGV, but this is how I think the Dynamo see RGV. But it's like, he's there, and like, we have him there, and like, he's good. Like if you have to move or something, like you can always hit him up because he has a truck and he can like help you move. And like he can help you out, he can, or like he owns a big old like hangar or garage, and like you can put some stuff in there, if you need to. But I mean, don't invite him because he's just he's he's not really part of the family. He just kind of brought, that I think that's how they see RGV, unfortunately. Like, I think RGV would do so much better if they were just like their own thing. I know maybe like financially they're not able to probably, have all the people that they have because, the Dynamo is the one that kind of pays for their like technical staff or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I would rather RGV be RGV and like have their own autonomy, like San Antonio FC's, like these teams that are able to like kind of grow, because if you're dependent of the Houston Dynamo, I mean, shit, I'm a fan and, I love this team. But I mean, if their number one team, their number one priority is not doing good, how good do you think their second priority is going to be? It's not going to work.
Getting, guys meaningful minutes. Prime example, Mauro Manosis. When he first came to...
So basically, he's saying nothing. Dijo nada para decir nada. It's funny because the afterwards the guy says la concha de tu hermana, which is not a good thing.
The meaningful minutes that he played.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that one because I just answered that one.
USL space will all evolve. I think again a real challenge that we've had in that from the bubble in Houston down.
And of course, COVID, and that's always gonna have some blame on it. So basically said that they wanted to send like the younger guys to go play it over there, which that's what they use RGV for, as like a training ground for the younger players to be able to move them up whenever they're ready, but they weren't able to.
Has RGV and this relationship been successful?
That's a good question. So the question is, do you think RGV and the Houston Dynamo and this relationship has helped them be successful? The answer is hell no, but let's see what he says.
I think what defines success is getting players meaningful, getting players coming up through our system, meaningful minutes at a competitive and high level while getting results at the same time. To me, that's how I define success.
Is it though? Do you rather like develop players and then win, or do you rather win and winning will develop players like naturally?
Because the results are an important aspect of development. I'll give you an example. I mean, we were Tab and I were talking about this last week. I mean, a player this last year that really kind of a player like Marcelo Palomino.
I'm gonna skip it.
And he really benefited from that, and the champ.
They used Marcelo Palomino, they used Memo, they used everything to basically justify what they have done in RGV, which is great. I'm not gonna say it's not, because if you can get good players, but at the same time, what good are you doing for RGV? I don't know. I'm not well versed in RGV. I would leave that to Ray or to Edson, since they're more like in depth with RGV, but I don't know. This is my opinion as an outsider that doesn't really follow RGV as much.
First team. That's really what I'm getting at. In your opinion.
I think it's not perfect, Glen. We outlined a very clear plan for him to get X amount of games that we ended up actually sending down there with Ian Hoffman, who when he came in, and he really benefited from that. The challenge there, Glenn, was that we wanted to maybe send Marcelo, but with the league protocols, he had to stay down there for the whole season. Tab and I were going through it, and Tab's like, well, Matt, look, there's going to be moments where we're going to maybe try to piece him in at the end of the season, so we kept him up here, and we were pleased that Marcelo got some first team minutes.
Yeah, no, I get COVID this year, but, we've been down in the Rio Grande Valley for a while. Has it reaped enough benefits for the first team? That's really what I'm getting at, in your opinion.
No.
I think it's not perfect, Glenn. I think that there's more positives than negatives to the relationship. And again, I
think I tweeted this. This guy said that, regarding the relationship between the Houston Dynamo and RGV, there's more positives than negative. Both of the teams haven't been to the playoffs in forever. Yes, the Houston Dynamo won a US Open Cup. But other than that, 2 teams, 1 cup. 2 teams, 1 cup. No playoffs. 1 playoff. I don't know about RGV, to be honest. But I don't think they're doing that hot. So you think there's more positives than negatives? I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right.
Look, there's been, I look at players. I'm in the office right now. I'm looking at players that have benefited. I'm looking at the board right now. Memo obviously really benefits from it. Michael Nelson, Sam Junkel.
Hasn't played a minute.
Alejandro Fuenmayor.
Hasn't played like 2 minutes.
Ian Hoffman, who I
Hasn't played any minutes, just RGV minutes.
just mentioned. Some players that came back from injuries at different times, and so I do believe that the partnership has been beneficial. When I especially when I turn around and look.
Operation moved back to Houston, they could become the pro team in the Valley, and you could have your team under your umbrella where you guys can observe and monitor in such an easier and more convenient way.
Yeah, look, I think first of all, it's a partnership we value.
So basically, Glen Davis asked him, what about letting them fly, like letting RGV be free, and just kind of getting a team closer to home to be your second team. And we value the partnership. Obviously, you have to say the political stuff, but yeah, basically he said no. It is what it is. We have a contract. We got to honor it. Whatever.
That space is evolving. What will, with the new MLS net.
Let's see. We're going to skip it a little bit, see where we're at.
All right, Matt, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we got a lot of phone calls to get to. Keep them coming, 713.
All right. Let's move on to the next. We got to do that just in case we don't get in trouble.
With the irrepressible.
All right, there's commercials. Let's see where we're at.
Employees on the technical side of the club were now, over 50. Hearing the hiring of Todd Ramos. So
At Jordan, it's going to all roll.
All right, so this is where Shay gets real. Shay hits the fan. My boy Ryan is coming into the game. I don't know Ryan, but Ryan, like Foxtrot said, he deserves a Purple Heart.
On here. Just a quick word here for John Daspit.
John Daspit, you don't sponsor me, so we're going to skip it. Hey, if you want to, though, John Daspit, more than grateful to get your sponsorship, bro. More than grateful. Bro, what the hell? Did I just go back?
Callers who want to get on. Get on.
All right.
Get your question in
Let's
quickly
do it.
to Matt. Let's go to Ryan. Ryan, you're up.
Matt, besides using the point that we honestly get tired of hearing the hiring of Todd Ramos, no offense to him, please clearly state what you have done to make this club a better product on the field, because your track record in Houston with MLS as far as winning goes is quite awful. Please don't sidestep this. Thanks.
Oh, I love that shit. I love the whole, please don't sidestep this. Bye. He just said, bitch, please answer my question. Be direct. Stop bullshitting the people.
hey, Ryan.
That was 3 seconds of silence from my boy Matt Jordan, because I think he was in shock.
Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it. Look, as just to go through the first part of your question, what from a club standpoint, I mean, I'm very proud, and it's not just me, it's we. Since I've been at the club, we've put a lot of infrastructure in place. When I came to the club, I think we were at almost 12 to 15 employees.
So question for everybody. I don't know if anybody's going to answer this, but I mean, I completely understand. So here's my question. Does a general manager he's a general manager, so that means that he manages everything, which is understandable. But how can I say this? So we have a sports team, right? what is the main focus of having a football club? It's for your team to win, right? Does it, like, I mean, can you be proud of everything you're doing behind the scenes if your team doesn't win? Isn't that the main reason, or like one of the main things that's going to help you grow as a club is that if your team is successful, like that's how you grow everything else? Or growing everything else in the background will eventually help like your team in the future grow? Like, I don't know, I'm confused, but at the same time I'm not, because I know what, like, I think having a good team in the field will bring everything else in the background. And the only thing that I can think of right now is Boca Juniors. I mean, yeah, Boca was, you know, they were always a big team, but like, for example, I was born in 92, right? So obviously, since I can remember, you know, I've been following Boca, but I started following them more like, you know, understandably like in the 2000s. So I remember 2000 winning, you know, Libertadores, winning the Intercontinental, beating the Galácticos at the maximum of their power, basically, and just going to Japan, beating them 2-1. I remember beating Cruz Azul in the Libertadores. I remember beating Sao Paulo in penales. I remember beating Palmeiras. I remember a whole bunch of stuff, and I remember the team like being one of the top teams in the world in the 2000s, which made the club itself become like a powerhouse. Like, them having so much success in the field kind of, I mean, the club was already kind of successful, but it just kind of took it to the next level of success. Like, it made it as popular as a Manchester United, as a Manchester City, as a Liverpool, you know, as a Real Madrid, as a Barcelona, in my opinion, you know. It made it an international club because it was able to win not only domestically, but internationally, right? And that only came because of the good product in the field. And then everything else came behind it. So, you know, Boca is not known for having, like, you know, a great soccer, you know, youth program, even though they do, because obviously a bunch of players came out of there. But, like, for example, Argentinos Juniors, like, they're known for having, like out of there, hundreds of great players that we know today came out of there, like Riquelme, Maradona, like a bunch of players that you can, you know, I don't know, I don't want to throw numbers, but like their infrastructure when it comes to like the lower divisions, the younger kids, like it's great, but their team, nothing. But imagine if it was the other way around. Imagine if their first team, like their, you know, Primera División, their first division team, their professional team, you know, got results and got, you know, the recognition internationally. Wouldn't that mean that everything else is going to follow suit? I don't know. That's my opinion.
On the technical side of the club, we're now, you know, over 50. And that, you know, goes from, you know, our USL team, through our academy, through our recruitment department, you know, through our performance department. So I think that, you know, what I'm quite proud of is we've built a good infrastructure in all those areas, you know.
But Matt, okay, you built the infrastructure, but if you don't get results on the field, you're gonna get your ass fired, bro. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't matter how much infrastructure you build, because at the end of the day, people are asking for your head because of the first team. And I completely understand, and I completely, like, I commend you and every, you know, your team or whoever, you know, is making, you know, Paul Holliker, like, there's nothing but good things coming out of, like, the Dynamo Academy, and, like, a bunch of great players are coming out of there. I mean, we're signing 17, 18, 15-year-old kids because obviously they're coming out of a great academy, and we're doing so many things for the community. But people are asking for your head because of the first team is not winning. So it doesn't matter how much you build in the background, bro. Like, people are going to ask on, you know, your head of what you're doing in the forefront, what people can see. If we have a shitty team in the MLS, people don't care how. I mean, I know it sounds bad, but like people won't care about the academy. And we love the kids, you know, we love that we have winning teams, you know, the U14, U17s or whatever are winning and they're killing everybody out there, you know, in these regional tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, that's amazing. That talks about, you know, the investment that these people put into these kids, you know, and like, you know, teaching them and loving them or whatever and building them up to be great soccer players and have a great career. But at the end of the day, you're going to get your ass fired because we can't have a good team on the field. So, I mean, I don't know.
In particular, the areas, you know, of our whole performance area, you know, there's a lot of, it takes a lot of time to put that in place. You know, with regards to, you know, since I've joined the club, you know, like I'd say when I first came to the club, I think that there was, you know,
skip
the club the same way, and then what I am proud of is really as we started to get this infrastructure in place. You know, you saw, you know, what we did in 2017, making the Western Conference Final, which was a great run for us. Winning the Open Cup the following year, and even last year. You know, it's hard when I go back and think about it, but last year we had, you know, the best start in club history. You know,
yeah, but you didn't make the playoffs and you ended up last. So it doesn't matter how you start; it's how you finish, my guy. That's the saying.
We advanced to the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals, and we got knocked out by Tigres, and then, you know, unfortunately with what we're building, and so, you know, that would be my response to your question or your comments, Ryan. You know, but I will say that we also have to acknowledge that, you know, it's the start of a new cycle, and, you know, that's really tied into you know, the transfer of Albert and the transfer of Morrow.
Yeah, that were like they paid pennies for.
And so really with change comes opportunity. And I know myself, Tab, and the rest of the staff, we're really excited to mix things up, you know, to evolve things. We've changed our system. We've changed our style of play that I'm happy to discuss as well.
Thank goodness we have those fans. But the other thing I would say really
with what we're building that I'm happy to discuss as well. And, you know, so now it's really my job to work with Tab to get the pieces in place that we can execute on the style of play and the change of system and what we're building as a club.
And Matt, you, in fairness to the fans that are calling in and are fired up, thank goodness we have those fans. But the other thing I would say really quickly is, in the context of the lack of playoffs and all, I mean, they got a right to be upset, don't they?
Yeah. Listen, Glenn, I think, you know, as I was kind of getting ready to jump on this call, I mean, I know the fans are angry. You know, they have every right to be angry. I'm not happy with how the season went. Tab's not happy. The players aren't happy. Our ownership group's not happy. But all I can assure you, and I can assure the fans, that there's a lot of people here that really care about the city of Houston, care about this club, and are ready to put in the work each day to help to get us back to where we want to be. You know, we've had some success.
You can start by telling us how much they paid for Manotas. I mean, that's a good start, right?
Over the last few years, but, you know, we also have to evolve. And so, look, nothing I'm going to say right now is going to change people's minds, right? The only thing I can do is be straightforward and open, and we just have to.
That boy said, nothing that I do is going to change people's minds, but I got to be straight up and open. But we still don't know how much they paid for Manotas.
We have to let our work and between myself, Tab, and the rest of the staff speak for us. You know, and I have no problem facing challenges head on, Glenn.
All right, let's keep it going, because I want to make sure, Matt, that these guys all get a chance. Everybody gets a chance to call in here. Let's go to Jose. Jose.
Hello, Matt. I'm a season ticket holder. I've been a season ticket holder for 5 seasons. And, well, I mean, I've got to say these past 6 seasons have been pretty disappointing with making playoffs only once. And, yeah, sure, the Open Cup winning that is good, but I want MLS Cup. That's what I want.
Bro, that's what we all want. But I don't think he understands this. We all want MLS Cups. Give us a goddamn MLS Cup, Matt Jordan.
MLS Cup.
bro, this question, between this question and Ryan's questions, bro, listen to this question. Listen to this question.
Next season, will you resign?
Damn, bro. He hit him with the R word. He said, if we start off the season in a bad way, will you resign? God, these people are going for the head, dude.
Jose,
Those were another 3 seconds of silence because Matt Jordan got caught off guard.
thanks for your question. I appreciate you reaching out. Nobody wants the MLS Cup more than myself and Tab and the rest of the staff, Jose. I mean, that's the motivation for what we're working towards every day. And again, we're excited for the challenge. That's all I can assure you. Definitely appreciate you being a season ticket holder. I just ask for you and the fans. Let's stand with us and let our work speak for us. And obviously we're really excited that Tab's starting year 2. And I have to be fair, Glenn. And I know you want to get to a lot of calls. I mean, I have to say, with regards to Tab, I mean, it's not easy either when you come in, to your first, MLS job, and all of a sudden you're dealing with a pandemic. And I have to tell.
So I'm gonna fast forward because he never really answers the question. But yeah, I don't think he'll resign.
Are you like?
I feel bad for Matt Jordan. For a split second, I felt so bad for him. I was like,
press a few years ago, you said you turned these clubs.
they were going so hard at him.
The brighter days are ahead. We're gonna all be pleased with it. So, that's.
All right, let's see if we can get to the next question.
Jose, and I appreciate your call, and we appreciate you being a season ticket holder.
Shout out to
And,
Jose.
I respect that you're not happy.
William, you're up.
Jesus, Glenn.
The past few years, there have been rumors of clubs from South America.
All right, so this guy, I forgot his name. He's asking Matt Jordan if we're gonna do like a partnership with like a European Cup, and he says no. So I mean, para hacerla corta la ocha, like he says no. We're probably just gonna like keep doing what we're doing and work with people in our area, basically. So no, if you wanted a partnership with a European club, keep waiting, my friend. Keep waiting.
We definitely put an emphasis on focusing on our own city.
Our own city.
And I think that the academy, and I got to give our academy and Paul Holliker and all the guys.
All right, so here we are. We're gonna fast forward a little bit more, because there's a question at the end that I guess more of a comment.
The lack of restrictions on travel and different things. I mean, we really kept our focus, still here.
Let's see where we're at. We're gonna fast forward. Now I think there's only like 2 more questions or something like that, so we're almost done here.
First trophy in 11 years, and he still got fired after one bad season. And then when I look at your transfer record and our first trophy.
All right, so this is a great question. So I'm gonna see if I can find it from the beginning.
Hey, I was just wondering, why do you hold coaches to a different standard than you hold yourself? It just seems to me that Wilmer Cabrera won us our first trophy that we had gotten in years outside of runners-up, Supporter Shield, or our MLS Cup. He got us our first trophy in 11 years, and he still got fired after one bad season. And then when I look at your transfer record and your GM side of things, it seems like you strike out more than you hit even a solid single.
Damn, that boy say you don't even hit a single, a solid single. I don't even know baseball, but I know what that meant.
So why do you hold the coaches to a different standard than you hold yourself? I guess that's my main question.
Well, Chris, thanks for the call. First of all, I respectfully.
Shout out to Chris. I think you're right, but he respectfully disagrees.
Disagree with you. I hold myself that type
Yeah.
of character.
So Jordan said basically When it comes to my position, I have to hold myself to a different standard because we don't have the same roles, basically. So he basically said, I can fire coaches for doing a shitty job on the field, but if I do a shitty job, it's okay, my friend. Our academy is looking great.
I'm very proud, of some of the key players we've brought. I'm very proud, of some of the.
Let's fast forward a little bit more. We're almost done, I promise.
Well, we said, look, we're going to keep the team together, and we're going to let Tab and the staff work with the team, and we're going to steadily make incremental changes. And obviously, working very closely with.
I think that's the question.
And again, if there's victories as well. So that's kind of what I would say is the first part of your. I'm very proud, of some of the key players we've brought to this club.
Hold on.
Hey, I was just wondering, why do you hold coaches
That's the
to
same
different
one. Okay, let's fast forward a couple minutes. And let's see what we get. But yeah, this was a.
we haven't made the playoffs in a while, so can the Dynamo fans at least expect some sort of big DP to at least get fans in the seats? Because playoffs seems like a dream right now.
So this is the DP question. The glorious. Can we expect somebody to do something for this team? To somebody to drop a little bit of cash? Por favor.
Look, I think that right now, our focus, Cristian. First of all, thank you for your call.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Is of course we're going to look at DPs. I mean, we're constantly viewing DPs all the time.
Bullshit.
I think the key focus for us is looking at the style of play and the system that we're implementing. The team prior to Tab taking over was built on a 4-2-3-1 counterattacking system, which I think everybody's well aware of. And we've really shifted our system into a 4-3-3, more restrictions.
So basically, no, they're not really looking at a DP. They're looking for experienced players and stuff like that.
The pandemic, and that's really
Because of the pandemic, bro. They can't travel. They can't scout.
affected.
TVs don't work anymore. Freaking YouTube doesn't work. Telephones don't work.
Our scouting annual scouting calendar that
I wonder how many scouts we have.
we just haven't been able to travel this last year.
Then we'll do about 8 or 9 minutes, and that'll do it.
All right, we're going to fast forward. There's another commercial break, and I think there's 2 more questions, and that's it. All right. One more time, shout out to Glen Davis and SoccerMatters.
Achievements of other teams, and under very similar circumstances. What is this organization lacking? Is it confidence, funding? Is it a clear vision? What in particular? What can you pinpoint in the Dynamo that is fundamentally lacking? Thank you.
Money.
Hey, Enrique, thank you for
Love.
the call. Appreciate it. I mean, first, look, you're exactly right. A lot of teams, every team has dealt with the same challenges of what this year has meant, with the pandemic, and is disappointing as the way the season ended.
All right, we're going to shut it down right there. So that was Glen Davis that had Matt Jordan, the Houston Dynamo FC general manager. So glad he doesn't make any decisions for the Houston Dash because that team is doing great. But unfortunately, we get to get his input on players and transfers and selling and all that. So Matt Jordan, you're probably a nice guy, but you probably should quit. I mean, just because it is what it is. I guess now you got 1 more year to prove yourself, to prove the people wrong, to shut up people. As Glen Davis said, we like to play general manager, so we always believe that we're going to do a better job than you can, of course. But obviously, we're not in your position. So we'll give you, well, not we, but I guess me, myself, we'll give you 1 more year of grace. And let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do in this last year. And, obviously I wish her the best. Good luck. Because if you do good, that means my team does good. And if my team does good, that means we happy. And if I'm happy, my wife is happy. And if my wife is happy, the kids are happy. No, I'm just kidding. There's a lot of weight on your shoulders. But basically all I'm trying to say is that we want a winning team. We want to go back to 06, 07. We want to go back to at least making the playoffs. At least give us a chance to have a good-looking team in the field. I know this year we played really, really well. So, I'll be the first one to say we were probably unlucky. But it could be that because we don't have really good depth on the team. So hopefully something's being done. I really believe in Tab Ramos. I really believe in the players. But I don't think I believe as much in you. So it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's been a long time talking about one person. So next week we'll talk about a different person. And we'll do something better, something fun. So QuattroQuattroDos on everything. It is what it is. Shout out to everybody that listens and watches and then stuff like that. Don't forget. Sorry if this one was too long, but life it is what it is. So deuces. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Have a good day. Have a good evening. And arrivederci.